to me, feminism is pretty elemental, right? Like you see the world and you're like, this is not right, and then you become a feminist. It's pretty like a logical thing.
For my brother, when he moved to study engineering in Ahmedabad, I realized that sabzi automatically appear नहीं होती fridge में. टमाटर खत्म हुआ तो किसी को लाना पड़ेगा.
Your heart, right? Like let's put this into a mail. Repeatedly, every day, you get the partner off, and you're just like, oh, thanks, bye. Internally, it's impacting you, saying, अच्छा यही मेरा role था, यही मेरा worth था. It's impacting you. They think of you a certain way, obviously, because they don't give a shit whether you are satisfied or fulfilled or सब हजम हो गया है or not. And that indicates how badly or how well the relationship is going.
You're only but a product of the kind of relationships you've seen. So Dada Dadi mein, my Dadaji went to fight a war and Dadi was home. So it was understood that she will take care of the house.
Actively, consensually, is she seeking and receiving orgasms? And are you contributing to her sexual happiness? Hi, I'm Tara Kosher, feminist counselor and author.
Hi, I'm Siddharth Alamban, the male feminist. And here on RelationShifft, we talk about everything around love, relationship, and lust, even romance, and about why nobody is getting laid. But Tara, today I'm really excited because we're talking about a healthy, egalitarian love. What is it?
Hanji.
Egalitarian.
You asked me this in the last episode, Sid, and I was like, okay, I have to sit and define this. So, pehle, egalitarianism. Ye matlab kya hai? Basically, egalitarianism is the idea that human rights for all. That's as simple as that, okay? And a simple way to define this is that people need rights beyond roti, kapra, makan, okay? But they need rights about security and trust and stability and a sense of belonging. And I think the simpler way to put it is that people need the social construct to have happiness, which is, I think, the ultimate judge of a human right. Now, this does not always count, but I think it's the way, it's a nice way to look at it. So I think a good way to define it is that everyone needs, the social scenario to achieve happiness. It doesn't always translate, but if you have stability and your rent is paid and you feel comfortable and secure, odds are that you'll be happy.
ठीक है, मैं मोटा मोटी आपकी बात समझ गया, लेकिन हमेशा everybody is on the same page वाली बात नहीं होगी. So somebody who has a tougher time will need more support, and it can be either or. So there has to be an affirmative action that's taken. And I think couples need to understand that. And that's the core objective of what we're trying to say today, right?
I think that in a relationship, if egalitarianism has to apply in a relationship, iska matlab everybody has a slightly tougher time or maybe it's day to day, case to case, right? Somebody comes in and says, I'm 20% today and I need help, and somebody else. But for the most part, across the world, all things being equal, in marriages, in families, in a social class, आदमी लोग की लाइफ अपनी औरतों से ज्यादा अच्छी है.
100%.
You agree? Flat. हाँ, आप तो male feminist हो ही, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, mummy daddy ko dekho, look at the lives, look at the relationships, look at the stress points.
No, we should talk about that, Tara. देखिए क्या है कि you're only but a product of the kind of relationships you've seen. So Dada Dadi mein, my Dadaji went to fight a war and Dadi was home. So it was understood that she will take care of the house. Now, as you move forward, nuclear families happened, and Papa Mummy ke beech mein, just Papa making the 4 p.m. chai was celebrated. And probably I've said this before in our episode as well, but why is that being celebrated? Isn't it's supposed to be divided household chores? Wahi hum baat kar rahe hain aaj. And when it came to Rima and I, and you should also expand on Sahil and you, and how aap logon ka divided hota hai household, ya kaise aap chores divide karte ho, aur different days wali baat pe to fir se we should come again, because I think that's a great kind of solution to this, or fuck, why is it for men that everything has to be a solution? So that's another issue that we'll talk about sometime. But came to Rima and I. At one point, she said, I want you to do this. And then 2 days later, she said, why am I delegating tasks to you? And I said, yeah, that's true. It shouldn't be that between a couple. It can be like, I see that cup there, or I see that clothes are scattered over there. I can fold them and put them in. And I think abroad, like you're living in Australia now, things are very different because this sort of a thing hasn't been passed on as hardly as it has been in India, because we also have house helps, etc., etc. But
yeah, so I disagree. I've been very intimately involved in the relationships and ideas around me. And matlab, details alag hain. But this whole patriarchy का जो overarching theme है, वो Australia ले लो, India ले लो, US ले लो, it is true all around the world. And also, I mean, especially in heterosexual couples, females have a biological burden. अब उसमें से social burden भी निकल गया, patriarchy and mother-in-law and बच्चे पैदा करो and करवा चौथ रखो and all of that. But in general, I found that Australia may be yahi problem hai. I've seen too many relationships where this keeps becoming a point of contention. Anyway, I think that this idea, equality through equity, human rights for all, jiske liye some people need more support to get it than others, and human rights is equal to happiness. I think these really apply not only to a contract with us and the government, but it does apply to the way we behave and relate towards each other. And in relationships, this is an active point. Great Indian Kitchen, dekh lo. What a phenomenal movie, dude. But dekh lo, look at the difference between the lives of the women and the lives of the men. And this is actually when we've reached a stage where women are working. Many of our class women are working. तो अगर वो घर भी संभाले और बच्चे भी संभाले और काम भी संभाले, उनका तो डबल ट्रिपल क्वाड्रुपल शिफ्ट हो गया यार.
But what the mard, and quickly just interjecting, what the mard need to understand is, if there is dual income coming into the household, then the household can also have a dual responsibility share load, and it is all about share the load. I mean, great copywriting and advertising, dude. And second is like the human rights point hits you very hard when you think of it like that. That sabko hak hai ghar aake chill karne ka. You know, my wife can also enter the house, throw her bag once ek taraf, throw the shoes ek taraf, and just chill on the sofa and ask for a beer. You know, all of that can apply. Why are these reels? And you're right. As soon as you said Australia ke America mein, I remember those reels that women have posted on TikTok and Instagram, where they've just shown things that annoy you about your husband wali reels. They have the same pattern followed. In fact, everybody who's watching or listening should let us know in the comments below if you all have the same kind of issues. Because I'm sure we will in the comment section find some bit of respite ki हाँ ठीक है, कुछ लोगों का 10% लोगों का तो होगा जिन्होंने egalitarian love को अपनाया है शायद. But yeah.
But like it's even like I'm married to a feminist man, and he was feminist before he met me. I mean, I think to me, feminism is pretty elemental, right? Ki, like you see the world and you're like, this is not right, and then you become a feminist. It's pretty like a logical thing. But even with someone who was a declared feminist and an active feminist and a jhandemar feminist, when we got together, there's a very famous line, famous cartoon about the emotional load that women bear. And like how the woman is the manager of the house along with the worker of the house. If you're a manager, your brain is already full. You can't do management and bloody ghaso the floors. So suddenly I found that, like, as when we've been together a long time now, but I found that like it was like same thing. And I would tell him, and I'm like, you think you're a feminist, and this is early on. He's of course grown a lot, but I'd be like, you think you're feminist, but within the same relationship, both of us having crazy media jobs, both of us very career oriented, But within the same relationship, he and I were having completely different experiences. I'm like, you come, you say khana kahan hai, and I'm like, oh, yes, sure, the cook has made the khana, but who is arranging sabzi kahan se aayega, kitne paise, where is that coming from? And I think
Yeah.
it took him a while also, because as feminist as he was, वो environment to sabka is the same, so it took him a minute, but like, of course, share the load to kab ka ho gaya, and now now I'm like, he cooks, I don't do anything.
Yeah,
Quite
perfect.
funny.
It's like you said, it's the environment that we come from. For my brother, when he moved to study engineering in Ahmedabad, he was like, I realized that sabzi automatically appear nahi hoti fridge mein. And I'm just like, it's so innocent, but it is the bare truth of what we're trying to say here. That the sabzi automatically doesn't get refilled in the kitchen or in the fridge or like every week or every 2 days. टमाटर खत्म हुआ तो किसी को लाना पड़ेगा. So what is healthy?
Huh.
What is healthy for everybody who's trying to say कि हाँ ठीक है हम evolve होंगे आपके साथ.
That's perfect. I really appreciate the people who are with us right now. But okay, so egalitarianism I've explained. But I want to say also what I mean by healthy, because so far the word healthy has moral connotations.
Yeah.
Ki homosexuality is unhealthy, women's sexuality is unhealthy, premarital sex is unhealthy, and it's all about the woman. It's all about her reproductive role. So the word healthy has a moral connotation, and it is usually used to persecute the powerless groups in society. So as I said, women, homosexuals, people that transsexuals, people that don't fit into how patriarchy expects you to be and belong, right? Now, it also assumes that the ideal end point of a relationship is loving, married, and monogamous relationship, and sex is only to express that love and to have a baby.
Yeah, to procreate.
To procreate, जो मतलब पेट्रियार्की 6 मिलियन साल से चला आ रहा है, और अभी ये फीमेल सेक्सुअल रेवोल्यूशन जो 1960s में हुआ, ये सबके ब्रेन में पचा नहीं है कि like sex does not mean baby, like it doesn't need to be, right? But this is not what we consider, like homosexuality and stuff is not what we consider unhealthy sexual or love behavior हमारे morals के हिसाब से. For us, free love, casual, kinky, whatever you want it to be, as long as it is consensual and happy and satisfying for everyone. So that's the definition of healthy egalitarian love and healthy egalitarian sex and relationships, and what we think they should be.
So mota moti, for every couple who's hearing or watching this, and if you all want, you should share this with the partner who's not listening or hearing or watching this, is basically apart from the fact that you share the load, you share the discussion, you talk to each other, all of those kind of points apply. And in a modern heterosexual relationship or marriages, healthy egalitarian love is actually just feminist pyar. It's just feminist love.
So obviously in ऐसी relationship में there's no violence or rape. She's a full person with sexual and bodily autonomy, and just because you might have married her doesn't mean you own her. And ये तो I think वो discussion आप और आपके लिए और मेरे लिए, and I think हमारे audience के लिए this is pretty obvious, but ज़्यादातर लोगों के लिए, like once the wife, like when I remember when I was studying for why men rape and when I was researching for why men rape, I remember telling some guy, marital rape, and he's like, शादी के बाद rape कैसा? Because मतलब गाय हो गई या औरत, she's just transferred as a possession from her father to you now. So what you do with her doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it was quite funny. But also, is the woman as happy? Is she as enabled? Like
all of those
you asked me that question. You said the word wife, and I just want to also discuss the word wife and the word husband. The word husband comes from animal husbandry. Okay, so so it ties into two things. It ties into the man, the husband possessing the wife,
True.
and then within it, wife becomes part of a, like, the husband's role and the wife's role become very gendered. So I actually don't use the word wife or husband at all. I just use spouse or partner, because it indicates that, maybe the woman does want to cook. She really loves cooking. That's
Mhm.
her kind of, maybe she loves cooking. And so, but she's not doing it because ye wife ka role hai. She's doing it because she enjoys it.
True.
And likewise, men can love, yeah. Men can show
Cry.
emotions.
True. True.
एंड मतलब खुश रहो, ये सॉल्ट खाने में सॉल्ट नहीं है करके खाना फेंकना जो हमारे पेरेंट्स के जमाने में आता चला आ रहा है, लाइक व्हाट द फक, व्हाई सो
Yeah.
एंग्री,
Yeah, that's
लाइक
a
व्हाट.
problem because according to the patriarchal norms and rules, आदमी रो नहीं सकता, अपना इमोशन एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर सकता, इनसिक्योर फील नहीं कर सकता, या पैसे की किल्लत है ये बात बता नहीं सकता. तो वो अपना एंगर कहीं भी, वो उस द इमोशन ही इज अलाउड टू फील इज एंगर. सो दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. एंड टू अबाउट द वाइफ बिट, यूर राइट. मैं भी इवॉल्व हो रहा हूँ और मैं भी पार्टनर बोलता हूँ, बट एवरी नाउ एंड देन, बिकॉज यू बीन टोल्ड मल्टीपल टाइम्स दैट एक दिन यू विल बिकम हस्बैंड and you'll be like, wife, tera responsibility hoega to make her happy. And I'm just like, bro, the responsibility and what we're trying to say today with egalitarian love is on both the partners. कि हाँ, दोनों एक दूसरे को खुश कैसे रख सकते हो, दोनों हेल्दी कैसे रह सकते हो, यही हम मुहिम रख रहे हैं अब तक. बस that's
मतलब थोड़ा शिफ्ट, इट्स ऑल्सो शिफ्ट इन द वे वी थिंक, राइट? जैसे हाउसवाइव्स को या स्टे एट होम मदर्स को हम इतना, मतलब इतनी घिन से देखते हैं फ्रॉम अ कैपिटलिस्टिक पेट्रियार्की पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू.
yeah.
You look at it saying, "Are they're still like she's a housewife or she's a stay-at-home mom." But psychologically, dekho, if you think about it from a different point of view, are the men enabling women to stay at home and take care of the house, or are the women by staying at home and taking care of the kids and the family and the food on the table and all of that shit, are they enabling men's careers? So psychologically, we need to start like thinking a little more about what this means in our personal lives. I'm not saying everyone should work. If you're rich enough not to work, then sure, chill. But if that's what you choose, but these are choices and they're personal and they should be equal and considering all involved. So these are just like some ideas of what such a love could look like.
100%. In 2023 and beyond, that's what we're trying to do with RelationShifft as well. But there are days like the reel that I saw, which I have told you about, or you mentioned the 20% bit, is very simply this. This is not a solution. This is an ideology that I really like, so I'm sharing with everybody. Is that you can walk into home and be like, I feel 20% today, and you may need to take the 80% load, or I feel 50 today, you feel 50 today. So you can just walk into the house or wake up one day and be like, no, I'm probably just a 10 today, and you'll have to take the 90 up. Or today, don't worry, I feel like an 80. I feel like I want to just like, there are days when I just have last week woken up and said, I think I want to take care of the clothes, and it's going to rain in Mumbai, so I will make sure that we have done our laundry and we're ready to go. And Rima's just like, what the hell just happened? Why are you in love with like detergent or whatever? Like I'm just tripping on freshly smelling clothes and everything else. And that's been beautiful. So there are days when you can feel X and your partner can feel Y. And if you share that discussion, then you're sharing the load. That's a concept I really liked.
Yeah, it is. So, one of the things that I have to say, I think one of the markers or primary markers of whether a relationship has a feminist love and a feminist sex is, does the woman orgasm?
That's the topic that will lead to another episode. So we should probably do an episode on orgasm. 101%.
We should. I'll tell you why this is the way it is, right? In prehistoric sexual roles, for the production of a child, only male orgasm is important. She does not even need to feel lust, let alone orgasm or pleasure, to fulfill that biological role.
Yeah.
That is the body. That is the body, the way it has been created. Now, this is perpetuated, matlab, from the beginning of time. It is perpetuated now. Porn में भी ऐसे दिखते हैं. In porn also, it's male orgasm and bye. Thank you for the service. Or like all of this. So I think, of course, women do orgasm during violence and rape and stuff. वो उसकी बात नहीं कर रही. Actively, consensually, is she seeking and receiving orgasms? And are you contributing to her sexual happiness? I think that's a good indicator.
For this, for egalitarian love, 100%. Like having a conversation before, after, not going to sleep is also part of what we're trying to understand, make you all understand. It's not just about household chores or talking. It is also about female pleasure that barely gets spoken about, even in popular media. We are at Male Feminists trying to do that a lot. But even then, like you see celebrities shying away from it because the norm is so deeply put into our heads, right? How can you talk about it? So orgasm is a different topic, and for sure we will do a porn segment on it because that's perturbed me the most since I've heard it from one of our channel heads. Which porn video finishes or which film finishes with the woman saying, "Oh, charam sukh," and not the man saying, "Where do I jizz?" That's just like, what? Yeah. So anyway,
I mean, we can talk about this later, but so true. So you're hard, right? Like let's put this into a male role. You're hard. And repeatedly, every day, you get the partner off and you're just like, oh, thanks, bye. Internally, it's impacting you saying, acha, yehi mera role tha, yehi mera worth tha. It's impacting you. They think of you a certain way, obviously, because they don't give a shit whether you are satisfied or fulfilled or, sab hazam ho gaya hai or not. And that indicates how badly or how well the relationship is going. So I think these are very important.
It's definitely another episode for sure.
Full episodes.
Yeah. No, but like, if just by this episode, if there is an epiphany that happens or occurs, then you can just ask, do you orgasm? Like, that'll be a great like question to you to go ask your partner. But
like also fake orgasms ki bhi baat karte hain. Women fake it for the male ego in the room all the time, which we should stop, by the way. So I think for all our listeners, if you're having epiphanies or thinking about what we're saying and orgasms and stuff, maybe it's time for you to have healthy conversations about healthy love and sex within your relationships. And, as Sid said, ask your partner, does she orgasm? Has she been faking it? Why? Anyway, orgasm ki to baat we'll do in another episode.
इस बात को पूरे को summarize करें तो बॉस सारे जो मर्द सुन रहे हैं, and all men in fact, the advantages of feminism are very simple, boss. Like, imagine both of you are contributing together, that the Excel sheet sort of needs are satisfied or taken care of, and it is a share the load kind of situation. Even if they're not bringing something home, your emotional needs is being discussed and spoken of, and you can be vulnerable. You can have a side to you which is insecure or has whatever. It is just about conversations. And, there is that basic touch that the human body kind of feels good about. So, yeah, if everybody is happy, there is exciting sex as well. So it's like just not the performative kind of sex, but like just there are multiple layers that you'll suddenly be like, wow, how did we not know about this? So these are the kind of relationships that we are trying to perpetuate and talk about, and we should all aspire to have.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's better to be single,
True.
I know, it's true. I say this especially for the women, yeah. So because we've been told कि मतलब 24 तक शादी नहीं हो तो बस it's the worst. Like life is over. But I'm just saying that's what we've been taught, and it's very hard to escape that. But I always say that unless you have a good relationship, it's better to be single. A good relationship is, I believe, a really healthy relationship is better for everyone involved. But if it's not good, it's better to be single.
100%. You should basically, everybody who's listening and watching should just drop down with your comments or questions to us, because I'm sure Tara can answer them for the women and I can answer them for the men, but we can both answer your questions in the comments sometimes. And yeah, we should just alert you all that you can listen to Relationship on all your podcasting platforms, whatever you go to, or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. And there are Instagram pages that are linked in the description below. You should go and follow. And wait for the next 14 days to have another episode drop.
Thanks for listening.
Good fun. Thank you.
Bye.